Hello, and welcome to Determined to Evolve Empathetically, the show in which I take personal responsibility for spreading kindness and happiness by way of self-improvement. I hope you're doing well this evening. I've decided to add a new section to this journal, so let's quickly go over the format. I'll start the same as usual by practicing gratitude and encouraging you to join in by leaving a comment. The idea here is that each time we acknowledge something that we're grateful for, we're changing our brains and making it easier for us to be appreciative in the future. Next, I'll celebrate a small victory. I'm adding this in as an exercise to counter negativity bias. We often pay disproportionate amounts of attention to tiny setbacks while barely even noticing our wins of the same size. So, I want to begin reversing that. And if you're not yet on board with gratitude practice for whatever reason, then I invite you to comment here with something that you've achieved. Lastly, I'll share a difficulty that I faced during the day as well as how I attempted to deal with it, in the hopes of crafting a better strategy for similar situations in the future. So, let's jump right in. Today, I'm grateful for my good friend, Stephen. He's been a huge force in keeping me motivated to create art and continue my mission here at Determined to Evolve Empathetically. On top of that, he's a talented artist himself, as well as an amazingly caring person who not only models grit, but also reaches out to spread positivity with others on a daily basis. You can find him and his awesome drawings on Instagram and Facebook, to which I'll put links in the description. And I won't even try to list the numerous things that he's done for me, but I will say this. Thank you, Stephen. All right, as we move on, remember to comment with what you're grateful for. Your brain will thank you. Okay, my small victory today was getting a load of dishes cleaned. With all the unexpected changes that have popped up in my life recently, I've been wanting to get the dishes done, but I've also been consistently pushing them to the bottom of my priority list. However, today I was able to find both the time and motivation to get one load of incredibly smelly dishes done. And I'm counting that as a win. As a reminder, please feel free to share your small victories. I'd love for this to be a place where people can not only feel good about their minor accomplishments, but also have others celebrate these wins with them. Which brings us to our last section. What did I struggle with? Today, I struggled with feeling overwhelmed. I'd let my to-do list get to the point where even looking at it got me half panicked. It was so long where I couldn't even really decide what to do first. So how did I deal with it? The first thing I did to get rid of this overwhelm was to put the 2-minute rule into effect. This is an idea that I learned from David Allen's book, Getting Things Done. I'll leave a link to a review of it in case you're interested in learning more. The idea, though, is that if a task comes up that will take less than 2 minutes to address, then do it right away instead of putting it on the to-do list. This ended up being helpful for 2 main reasons. One, I was no longer adding a bunch of these trivial tasks to my to-do list, so I was able to decrease the mental energy I had to spend on anticipating and worrying about these things. And 2, I gained momentum by actually finishing things. I don't know if we're doing cussing on this podcast yet. We're going to stick with no. Finishing things. Full disclosure, though, I did add these tasks to my to-do list retroactively, so I could still check them off. I did this for both the dopamine hit, of course, and to earn gold on Habitica, which is this free habit building and productivity app that's framed almost like an RPG or a role-playing game. I'll put links to the app and a video review of it down in the description. Also, I'll say that I highly recommend you look into it. It's called Habitica. The second thing I did to stop feeling overwhelmed was to dedicate uninterrupted blocks of time to the more lengthy tasks. My preferred method is to chunk activities into Pomodoro sessions, or set periods of time spent focused on just one activity. I scheduled 25-minute sessions today, during which I blocked out all notifications and kept a piece of paper nearby to write down any unrelated, nagging thoughts that might come up and try to steal my attention. And with these 2 steps, I was able to turn this potential 0 day into a day of moderate productivity. Next time, though, I want to add an element of prioritizing before I start doing anything. I'm not really interested in numbering everything in order and all that, but I think that having a clear top 2 or 3 most important tasks will give me much more clarity and less stress. I'll be back to let you know how it goes, though, because this is only episode 3 of Determined to Evolve Empathetically, the show in which I take personal responsibility for spreading kindness and happiness by way of self-improvement. If you'd like to follow or support my journey, then be sure to subscribe. You can also find my personal outlet for sharing educational and inspirational tidbits at facebook.com/determinedtoevolve. I recently posted an article from mindful.org called How to Settle the Mind that I definitely recommend you read. So until next time, thank you for joining me this evening, and have a good one.